and I'm just having a great time. Should I have done this before I pinned all of it? Probably, but I'm scared. Well, that's the best thing that's ever happened to me. Hello my loves, welcome back. A long time no vlog. I feel like I haven't filmed in such a long time. Life has just been lifing at the moment. Things have been crazy. Classic coming to the end of the year and trying to get my life in order. And yeah, I feel like I've just really fallen off the YouTube bandwagon and I've really missed it. This is the first like free day I've had in what feels like forever. And I'm really excited about it. I want to do a little bit of Christmas shopping, but obviously you know me and I'm gonna try and thrift things first, always, before I buy new. So I thought what we could do is just go around a couple of the local op shops together, see if I can find anyone some really cute pre-loved Christmas presents. I'm also very open to the idea of making gifts. So I'm gonna be looking at like fabrics to see if there's anything I could sew maybe for people. I'm up for getting a bit crafty. So my brain is open, my mind is open. I'm just gonna go and see if there's anything in there that sparks joy, that gets my creative juices flowing, that gives me inspiration. And yeah, I just want to show that you can be a little bit more sustainable with your gifts, for one. I feel like Christmas is such a time that we fall into the trap of overconsumption and wanting to buy, and we love the people in our lives and we want to show them how much we love them, but we don't always need to be buying loads of new stuff that people aren't going to use, you know? So yeah, this is your sign to see if you can thrift some gifts first, for birthdays, for Christmas, for anniversaries, for whatever, or if you can upcycle anything to make something that feels new but isn't. That's all I have to say. I missed you. Welcome back. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Let's go and have a little thrift and see what we can find. Very promising start. I've been thinking mainly for my friend Sarah, because she is a thrifty girl like myself, a sustainable fashion queen like myself. I think she would appreciate this sort of gift the most. I found a few things that I thought she'd like, and I have done her like a Christmas thrifted little bundle box before, a couple of years ago. And then I've also done, or we've both done, like thrifting each other little bundles before, which we both absolutely love, don't get me wrong. So I kind of thought about doing that and picked up a few things, but I just didn't see anything that I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna be absolutely in love and obsessed with this. So I thought I would rather make her something. So, and this is a thought that I'd had earlier as well. I thought it'd be really fun to make her something from like pre-loved material. And when I thought about it, I thought I'd either get her like a nice gingham sort of fabric, plaid gingham, do like some item of clothing, pop a few photos of like inspo that I've seen online of like thrifted homewares that you can make, or like bags or a dress or something. But the other thing I thought was like a nice bright cobalt blue, because I know she really loves that color, especially at the moment. She has a bag in that color that she loves and uses all the time. So that was in my head, right? The first op shop I went to, I found this fabric, which is a bed sheet, but like the perfect blue that I had in my mind, which is crazy. And obviously a bed sheet is pretty sizable. And then I also found this zip, which is a good long zip as well, and such a good match. It's a tiny bit darker, but obviously keep in mind it goes over the top, so it would be like here. I think that's a pretty decent match. So I bought these, and then I got myself a little top, obviously, because I saw this just cute little, like a bright pink lace little crop. Am I right? Why can't I hold this up? I thought it was just like a really cute little something. It should have come to like $13 or something, but it was like $9.50 altogether. So I don't know, there's some sort of Christmas sales going on. This basically cost me like $5. So we're off to a great start. Now, easiest thing would be to do a bag with this, but as I mentioned, she has a bag in this color, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm trying to think of what would be the best thing to make her. I think if I do some sort of homewares, like the placemats that I saw, like the little drinks mats, I like the little pouches, like a little laptop pouch or something. I do think she'd love that. I'd quite like to do them quilted, so I'd need to get some of the quilting, whatever it is that goes inside. My initial thought was a dress. What I'm concerned about is, do I have enough fabric, basically? Because I hadn't really like properly opened this in the shop. But it's a double bed sheet, right? So it's sizable. What I'm gonna do is, I think, get on Pinterest and maybe try and get some inspo, because I do need some sort of pattern, because if I make clothes for myself, it's okay because I can like measure as I go on my body. I don't have Sarah here, and she's not the exact same size as me. So I would need either a pattern to follow so I can make it in her size, or if it's not a piece of clothing, I need some sort of direction. So I'm gonna have some lunch, chill, and do a little bit of research on Pinterest, maybe on Etsy at patterns, and just get some inspo for what I want to do with this. Step one, acquire the fabric, is a success. Okay kids, it is a few days later. I am back with what we're going to call concepts of a plan. Excuse my appearance, it is about 1,000,000 degrees today in Melbourne, so I'm just sweating it out. Today is probably the last day I have time to really do this, because I love to leave things last minute and make them stressful for myself. But as I say, I have concepts of a plan, so it's all going to be okay. So my vision is a top like this. I'm sure you've seen this style around. They're super cute. I'm thinking it's gonna be fairly simple to make because it's just like tie up front. The ruching I've done before on other pieces, so I feel confident that I'm able to do that. And then in an ideal world, I'd love to make some like little puffy sleeves. At first I was like, oh my gosh, I need to go get elastic, I need to figure this out. But then I realized this bed sheet is already elasticated. So I'm hoping that I can basically repurpose these into little puffy like balloon sleeves. And this is like where the arm will go in. Hoping is the key term here. So we shall see. I've got this top of mine that I'm gonna use as a guide because I feel like it's a good boxy kind of shape, and this is like the kind of shape and neckline that I want to mimic. A little bit boxy and like loose on me, so I'm thinking this will kind of work for Sarah if I just cut around this perfectly. Then like with seam allowance it should fit her well, but I do kind of want it to still have that boxy fit. The shape looks right to me, instead of obviously having the buttons that will be bows, like little ties, and then I'll just add the sleeves onto these holes. So I might try and make these a little bit smaller. It's all going to be a bit of guesswork, and if this doesn't go right, then I guess I'm just going to have to order something online ASAP. I have this blue thread, which is a little bit too light, but I think it'll do the job. I'm going to start by measuring, cutting, getting all my pieces out, and then I can start pinning and sewing. It's going to be okay. It's going to be fun. I will check in with you in a little bit. The main pieces are cut. I am just pinning the sides together so I can start sewing like the basic shape of the bodice. And I'm just having a great time. Does anyone else like forget how much they love their hobbies? So if it's like hobbies you don't do all the time, like you don't have time to do constantly. Like I don't sew that often really compared to like reading and like Pilates and my other hobbies. And sometimes I feel like earlier today I was like, oh, why did I decide to do this? Like I should have just bought something for her. So much easier, like this is gonna take ages, blah, blah, blah. And then now that I've started, I'm like, oh, I love this. I love sewing. I like forget how fun it is and that I don't force myself to do it. So I'm just having a great time, honestly. I did just pin it and then realize that I need to make sure I haven't got like where I've drawn on it. I've got to remember, right sides together, this bit can be inside because that's where you can see pencil. And obviously that'll come out in the wash, but I've already washed this fabric, so I probably won't wash it again before I give it to her. I'm excited already, and I'm trying not to get ahead of myself because there's a long way to go and this might not turn out how I want it to turn out in my head. I'm excited to see this come to life. And you know what, even if it's not great, I'm sure she will appreciate the thought and the effort. I've got YouTube on in the background. I've been watching Georgia Richardson's new vlog, and then I'm going to catch up on some of Zoe Zugg's Vlogmas as well, which I've obviously been watching religiously. I'm just having a great time. All right, we have a bodice, kids. I also think I'm going to do like the little frill. What do we think around the bottom? I think that could be really cute. So next I'm going to do the sleeves, and then the frill, and then I can do all of the hemming situation, and then I'll do the little bows. Yeah. My back is in bits. But one sleeve is on, and I think it's pretty successful. And then she can like puff it up, puff it to your heart's desire. I think that's really cute. Okay, there's no time to stop. We've got to keep going, we've got to keep hustling. But we're making good progress.
True, that's true.
You know, like...
No, friends of mine have like, after, you know, some form of sushi or...
Okay, we are doing what is possibly my least favourite part of anything, which is like straps or ties or anything like that, because I don't have a loop toner. I don't know why, and I really should just invest because it's probably like $10 and it would save me so much stress and turmoil. I just do it with like a safety pin. But I did see a tip on Instagram. There's a really cool Instagram account that I follow. I don't remember her name, but I will put it up here anyway. But she said if you are sewing straps like this, when you go to turn it inside out, at the start, if you start sewing here and you have a long bit of thread and put it down the middle, and then sew around the outside, and then you can like pull it through with that bit of thread. So I'm gonna try that as a starting point, because I have 4 of these I need to make, and they're gonna be the little ties on the front. We're gonna try that method and just see if it works, and if it does, then thank the Lord. Yeah, I just really hate doing straps. I find them so fiddly. It's just the turning inside out bit, the rest of it's fine. I also really want this to be neat because this is gonna be on show. Come back here. Should I have done this before I pinned all of it? Probably. Okay, I think I've done this in a really bad way, but you know what? We're in it now. My sewing machine has also unthreaded itself so many times today, and I don't know why the world is against me in that way, but that's been very annoying. Especially because I was doing the hem as well, and I wanted the hem to be really neat because it's like the thread is slightly lighter. It's obviously gonna be super neat, and the hem is not as neat as I wanted, so that's kind of upsetting, but you know what? Worse things could happen in this world. Okay, so we have this. It's definitely not straight. And then at the end here, we have this little bit of thread. So theoretically, I'm so scared. I should be able to gently pull on this and turn it inside out. But I'm scared. I feel like people that don't sew would never assume that like those little strap details are like the hardest part or the most time-consuming part, but honestly, this will probably take me longer than anything else. If this thread snaps, my hopes and dreams snap along with it. Hopefully you can witness this magic unfold. Not to be dramatic, but that is one of the best things I've ever experienced. Well, that's the best thing that's ever happened to me. My little tie. Okay, that's the best hack ever. We shall be doing that again. Let me just show you properly how I did that, because that was actually incredible stuff. So what you want to do is move this guy to the back. Your thread that is threaded through your needle, you want to just pull long enough so that it's longer than whatever strap you're making. And then you're just gonna get it out the way as always. This is my scrap of fabric. So I will be sewing along the top here and then all the way down this edge. Start it off at the top, just doing a straight stitch. And just go back and forth a couple of times, and then you want to take a really long piece of thread, thread it in between these 2 flaps, all the way down the center, so that it'll be sticking out the other end. And that is the key. So we're going to replace this down. And that bit of thread is now inside here. You see? And so we're going to make sure it stays in the center, and we're going to fold the fabric over the top of it and sew all the way down here. now, out of the end of my little strap, I have my thread. And then I can just pull it and pull the end through. And I always find the main bit to do is to like help this bit invert. But you know what I mean? Like getting the first bit in. Sometimes I feel like this needs help tucking in on itself. I think the key here is to just be patient and not yank it or pull it really hard as much as it's really frustrating. Bit by bit, I just like pinch the outside of it with my nails and then pull. And then pinch the next bit with my nail. Make sure you're just pinching one layer so the other layer can move through. And pull. And pinch. And pull. Shooketh by how well this is working. And then once it's all through and the right way around, you can just snip that thread. First two done, I'm gonna do the rest. She is ready. I'm gonna just try her on. Once again, bear in mind, Sarah's a little bit smaller than me, so it will be a bit more like boxy on her. I love it when a plan comes together. And then this is obviously elasticated, so we can move these up and make them more like poofy. There is a part down here where I just fully didn't hem the hem, so that's annoying, but the rest of it is adorable. I feel like that's fairly an easy fix. Part of me wants to unpick it and like, because I went for a straight stitch down here, which I think looks better. Part of me wants to just unpick this and just straight stitch it. But all in all, I think this is adorable and I feel like Cez will really love this.